Before I begin today's video, if you want to get real news and information straight from the Trump 2020 campaign to bypass the mainstream old school washed up media, download their official app through the link in the description box below. And yes, this is an ad, but you only get ads straight from me that I believe in. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we gotta talk about Black Lives Matter, so-called protesters, really rioters, insurrectionists, and general agents of chaos protesting, quote unquote, at a Trader Joe's in the Ballard area of Freeport, Washington. Now, I don't really know if it's a good area, bad area, gentrified. We'll talk about that in a minute or what. But they said, if you guys want to come to the protest, we'll bring the protest to you. So you got mostly white liberals in there. Some of them got their fist up talking about we need to have more grocery stores in low income black areas. At the same time, they're talking about gentrification being a bad thing. Now, I don't understand how you're going to be in the grocery store trying to so-called protest against those two issues, because they kind of, contradict each other. You want more Trader Joe's or more grocery stores in low income black areas, but according to those that were in Portland, Oregon last year, the sign of gentrification, which negatively impacts black people in the black area, according to what they say, one of the first signs of gentrification is a Trader Joe's and widening bike lanes and stuff like that. So if you bring a Trader Joe's, that's bad, gentrification. If you don't bring a Trader Joe's, that's bad, food desert. So I don't understand how you're protesting Trader Joe's in order to get more clean grocery stores in the black area. I don't really get it at all. It doesn't make much sense to me. It's just kind of weird, but this is BLM for you. They don't make much sense. They do things kind of on the seat of their pants. They kind of just behave really erratically, spur of the moment, emotionally, not much thought process involved. Okay. The guys are on the ground and the girls are on the ground. Most of the girls in this picture, they are just behaving off emotion. They don't know what they're doing at all. But those at the top, those that are really at Black Lives Matter, the corporate office, wherever that, DC probably somewhere, they're getting plenty of money. They got things organized really well, and they raise money off the backs of these poor morons in a Trader Joe's for no good reason at all. They will not impact anything being in there, and if they do protest them enough to get them to build a Trader Joe's in their ghetto, it's not even going to work out in their favor. All right, but I'll continue on. Now, I'm from the hood. I've been in the hood. This whole thing about, we got to have more access to grocery stores. First of all, that's not really a real thing everywhere. You got some of the lower end grocery stores in poor areas because the area can't really afford a Trader Joe's or a Wegmans or a Whole Foods. Definitely not Whole Foods. I don't even like going to Whole Foods because that's expensive. Trader Joe's is kind of expensive, but not as bad as Whole Foods. Trader Joe's is owned by some people that own Audi. So if you got an Audi in your neighborhood, you got a Trader Joe's. It's pretty much the same thing, just kind of a lower scale version of Trader Joe's, but I'll keep on going. The issue with this whole argument is that if you have a grocery store in the hood that has, fresh produce, fine cut meats, wild caught Alaskan fish for sale, who's buying it? The hood people or the non-hood people? And I'll explain. Walmart is a great example. Go to Walmart any first of the month, right around the time of EBT card refreshment. You understand? When the food stamps hit the bank, direct deposit food stamp right on your card. Go to a Walmart on the first of the month and you'll be able to witness what hood people buy. Observe their carts full of junk, straight to the snack aisle. They'll bypass the produce, and the produce is right there in the front. You can't miss it. At least at my Walmart it is. You go into the Walmart, straight in the front, to your left, it's this whole big produce section. You got fruits, vegetables, all kind of fruit drinks, all kind of salads and ingredients and salad dressings, all of that good stuff, right? Romaine lettuce, kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, you name it. Wild-caught Alaskan, tenderloin, prime rib, whatever you need, you got it. Okay. And then in Virginia, you got crabs and everything else. Like the farm fresh, you got all that good stuff. Blue crab, whatever you need, fresh, clean to eat is right there. However, when you see the carts of the hood people, what are they buying? ding dongs, ho hos, pop tarts, popsicles, just junk. It'd be a cart full to the brim of junk. Chips, soda, high fructose corn syrup, just ridiculous garbage. Where's the excuse? You're in the grocery store that has good food. Now, granted, Walmart produce is not necessarily the best in the world. It's not necessarily a 5-star rated thing, but it will work. I've eaten Walmart produce and it's not bad. You'll survive. You're not just going to keel over and die if you eat some Walmart kale. It probably comes from the same farm that supplies the Kroger and whatnot. But that's a different story. I digress. My whole point is that they have a good produce section. They got fresh meats you can cook. A lot of people in the hood are not cooking, number one. And number two, they're buying junk. You got people that's 800 plus pounds that are in poverty. How are you in poverty, but extremely, I'm talking about morbidly obese. I don't mean just overweight, not necessarily in shape. I'm talking about obese to the point where you can't even get out of bed, where you got to be fed food in the bed. How does that happen when you have no money? The food stamps are enabling this. The welfare state is enabling this. You're able to claim SSI. You got your WIC, EBT, TANF, and you're going and buying junk. What's the point in protesting? What's the point in protesting to get a Trader Joe's in the ghetto when a Walmart is right by the ghetto and they don't buy anything close to what Trader Joe's has? It doesn't make any financial sense for the business, and it doesn't make any logical sense just looking at it on paper. All right. A Trader Joe's would not go to the hood. And if it does go to the hood, they're going to be mad because gentrification is going to come. Gentrification should be a good thing, right? Because what do they say in the hood? Or what do these BLM people say about the hood? Oh, we got to have more investment. We got to have more money, more opportunities, more jobs. Okay. That is gentrification. Opportunity, investment, jobs, all that good stuff. Okay, you widening the bike lane. Why is having the bike lane a bad thing? If you in the hood, you probably don't have a car, but you can afford a bike. So why not ride a bike from point A to point B? What's the big deal? Increasing the bus service. If you don't have a car, get on the bus. I did that for a long time, for years with no car. Get on the bus, go where I gotta go. Okay, I don't really understand it. It's weird. These people. What's going on is that people that are in the hood and those that want to be the quote unquote advocates, the Black Lives Matter advocates, what they want is for those that live in the hood to live on a low amount of income or no income, but live like those that have 6-figure plus income. That's not how it works. You can't live like those that got a lot of money if you don't have any money. Your goal should be able to get a lot of money so you can live like them. This goes back to this whole thing about Trump and stopping the low income housing development in high income areas. All right. This is just the reality. People might get upset. They might get mad, trigger the butthurt, and that's fine. But who cares? I don't want to live next to the ghetto. If I built a house, I got a house somewhere out nice, and I done spent $500 million or some kind of crazy amount of money, I think that I am entitled to not being in the bad area. When you bring in low income housing, you're not going to get all bad people. That's a fact. You got people that are in low income area that are just regular normies that don't get involved in no chaos. But you're going to have more nuisances from a low income area than you would in a high income area. That's a fact. Everybody knows it. That's why if you live in a high income area, you don't want to be around that. That's just what it is. And this whole thing about, gentrification, it should be a good thing, because really people that don't want to live in a bad area are coming to a bad area and making it better. So you can't win. If people say, I don't want to live in a bad area and I don't want it around me, that's bad because you're discriminating. If they do want to come to the good area, that's bad. Gentrification. We got to pick one argument and stick to it rather than kind of going all over the place. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Trader Joe's. I like Trader Joe's. They're a good store. No ad there. I'm not getting paid to say that. I just like Trader Joe's. I used to go there all the time. And you know what? I used to go real far, even when I ain't had that much money. I had enough to be able to get out there and back. And sometimes it was kind of it was a struggle. To spend $40 in the store at one point was an accomplishment for me. And I would go all the way down to the beach. And I'm living right by Norfolk almost. So you're talking about 30 minutes going back in 30-minute one way, like an hour round trip to go get some wild caught salmon and a few items for the week, jasmine rice and things like that. Okay, and some bok choy, all that good stuff. Now, who's gonna do that? That has that kind of hood mentality, that hood mind state. They're gonna go straight to the Walmart that ain't that far away. They can get on the bus and go and get things that taste good. They're living to eat rather than eating to live. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that these BLM so-called protesters, really rioters, insurrectionists, agents of chaos, have a point about there needing to be more grocery stores in the hood, or at least, good food, high quality food? And my question would be, how they going to afford it? This is not cheap stuff. It's expensive. So, I mean, their food stamps, they got that, but how are they going to even afford it? Where's the viability in that option? And if that was available and you start to bring in more business, more money, more jobs, more opportunity, gentrification. So that's bad. So what are we going to do? I think the solution here, as I close real this time, is to have people that are on the lower parts of society be able to rise to the top. But they're cutting that ladder, that rope off in free out of Washington. High minimum wages, high taxes. You're creating a permanent underclass that has no ability to be able to rise. So if there is anything that needs to be done, Black Lives Matter, if you got the mayor's ear, how about you say cut that minimum wage down to the federal minimum, $7.25, rather than $15, because I'd rather have a job at $8 rather than $0. Okay, if the wage is $15 and I have no job versus 8 with a job, which one is more money? Okay, I'm not Albert Einstein, but come on, basic math here. 8 is better than an effective 0. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.